2 months ago, my wife and I bought this 2023 Corvette Coupe. We've now put about 2,800 miles on it. I've even had it out on the racetrack. But in this video, I'm going to show you the 5 things I hate about this car. So stick around. So I can see all you C8 owners and lovers right now. You're sitting at your keyboards. You're ready to hit dislike. You're ready to flame me in the comments. Tom, how could you possibly find 5 things you don't like about your 2023 Corvette? I'm going to ask you to slow your roll and hear me out. Let me begin by saying my wife and I love this car. I mean, it looks fantastic. It's fast. It's fun to drive. It gets compliments everywhere we go. But like all automobiles, it's not perfect. And so here's my list of the 5 things I don't like about our new 2023 Corvette. Number 1 on my list is something I consider a design flaw in all C8 Corvettes, and that is the lack of protection for these front radiators on each side of the car. So you notice how large that honeycomb is, that opening that would allow objects to come flying through there, and I've picked up a stone here and I'll show you that it wouldn't take much for that stone to go flying through and damage the fins on that radiator. Here is an example of what that damage looks like. I rented a 2021 Corvette in Las Vegas before we bought ours, and you can see all the little fins that have been damaged by the objects that have flown through that honeycomb. There is a solution to this problem. A company called Scrape Armor makes these added grills that you can put behind that honeycomb area that provides an added level of protection for the radiators. But frankly, this is something that every C8 Corvette should come with standard. I shouldn't have to go out and spend $400 to buy these in order to fix the problem. Item number 2 on my list of things I don't like about this car would be the poor rear visibility. So I'm going to show you here in the rearview mirror. You know, you really have a limited view out that rear window. Let me turn the camera so you can see. It's really that sloping window over the engine here on a coupe. You really don't have very good visibility. So now, we have a 2LT, and all coupe owners with a 2LT or 3LT also gets the camera feature. So if I flip this, you notice the rear camera comes on. Now I really like the rear camera. My wife doesn't care for it. And so I find in the daytime it works really well and is very helpful. But at night, the headlights just kind of blind it out, and it's just not as useful at night as it is during the day. Now the other thing, you know, traditionally you would look over your right shoulder, check your blind spot. Oh yeah, forget it. Look at all of this structure here, this B-pillar, the seat, the way the slope over the engine. You're not going to see anything in that blind spot. You really have to rely on your mirrors to make sure that you don't hit somebody when you go and change lanes. Item number 3 on my list is the ventilated seats. And here I'm going to turn it on for my driver's seat, and I can hear it come on. You can hear the fans running, but I can tell you right now, this seat, you can barely feel it at all. And it's true on the passenger side as well. It just doesn't work very well. And we have a 2020 Chevy Blazer, and they work really well. I really like them. But in this Corvette, they don't work well. I talked to another C8 owner at a Corvette show this weekend. He told me the same thing. He goes, yep, you can barely tell you've turned them on. Even though it's got 3 settings to it and you got it on full blast, it still just doesn't work very well. Number 4 on my list is going to be the location of the cell phone charger. So that charging system is way back here. That is where you got to drop your cell phone in there in order to charge it. Now, the charging system works really well. And of course, you got Apple CarPlay and Android Auto and that sort of thing. But the location, it's hard to reach. Half the time I get out of the car and I forget about it, even though there's a message that pops up on the screen to tell me that I've left my cell phone still in there. And I end up having to walk back to the car in order to grab it. It just, you know, our 2020 Blazer, and I'll show a picture of it here, is got the charger up here where it's easy to reach, and you won't forget it there because you'll see it when you shut the car off. But no, in this car, it's in a really bad location. Number 5 on my list of things that I don't like about this car would be the trunk. Let me open it up and show you. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining about the size of the trunk. I know it's going to be smaller than prior generations because we're talking about a mid-engine automobile. I get that. The problem with this trunk is the amount of heat that engine generates makes this area scorching hot, especially in the summertime. So if you thought you were going to use this as your grocery getter, well, you better be thinking about putting those groceries up in the front or put them in your passenger seat, because it gets way too hot back here to be putting your ice cream, because it'll be melted by the time you get home. There's even videos on YouTube of people that have taken the liner out and have put insulation around here to try and cut down on the amount of heat that's being generated in this area. And those are the 5 things I don't like about our 2023 Chevrolet Corvette. If you're a C8 owner, did I forget something? If so, drop me a comment below. Tell me what you don't like about your car. My name is Tom Stroup. You've been watching Find the Right Road. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button and consider subscribing to my channel. Thanks, and we'll catch you next time.